Good. So the first question is this. Are you ready? Question number 1. Someone says, for a guy, should money be a major criterion to have before getting into a relationship? Is money an important thing to have before getting into a relationship? Okay, there was a B side to that question. Okay, let me take the A before the B. Okay, is money an important criterion? Yes, money is very important. Okay, and when we speak about money, we don't mean you should own the whole world. All right, we're just saying you should be able to demonstrate that you can take care of yourself and you can take care of an additional adult and other human beings that you're going to bring into the world. So is money important? Oh, yes, it is. If you cannot take care of yourself, then please channel all your energies, emotional and otherwise, to having a sustainable means of livelihood. When you can take care of yourself, then you can consider bringing somebody else into your life. Okay, please, that is very important. All right, and that is as basic as I can keep it. Okay, so long as you can take care of yourself and another adult. Okay, and also bear in mind that following the course of life and natural occurrences, once you are married, all things being equal, in a couple of months and years, you are expecting an increase in your family. Okay, so if you cannot take care of yourself, it will be wicked to carry another person's daughter and add to yourself. Okay, and then the question is directed at the guys. So it will be wicked to carry another person's daughter and bring into your suffering. That will not be fair at all. In fact, that will be very evil of you, and you would not even forgive somebody if they are doing that to your sister, all right, or your daughter. So it's important, have money. All right, the B part of that question is it advisable to enter into a relationship while still dependent on your parents? No, it is not advisable. If you are still staying under your parents' roof as a young man and you are not yet earning money, you are not ready for a relationship. Direct all your energies towards discovering your plans and purpose and assignment in life. Devote your energies towards finding a cause to be committed to. When you have found that, then start applying yourself on that chosen path. Let it start rewarding you. Just demonstrate. That's the key word I keep using. Demonstrate that you are responsible and you can take care of yourself. If you are responsible, you're earning money, you feel like you're mature, but then you are still in your parents' house as a young man, then still you are not ready. Because if you're already working and you're an adult, then you should feel free to excuse yourself from the comfort of your parents' home and go and start life for yourself. Go and know what it looks like to pay the bills. Go and know what it looks like to renew your subscriptions every month. Go and know what it looks like to run a home. Don't sit down in comfort zone and be saying that, you're not a man, you're his wife you need now. No, you don't need wife. You need some level of maturity, okay, and get out of your parents' house. Get out of your parents' house and go and start life and face the jungle. Conquer your own lions and bears. All right, then you know that you're speaking maturity. If you haven't done that, you are not ready. Don't confuse yourself and don't confuse any young lady. And to you, dear young ladies out there, if he's telling you all the sweet nothings and nice words here and there, and he's still in his parents' house, well, he is not ready for a relationship. One of the first things that should demonstrate readiness is that a young man is ready to be independent and to face the world with his full chest, with full courage. All right, and it also shows your leadership and decision making. For goodness sake, why should you chill in your parents' house till you're married? All right, so let me not overflog that point. The next question is, how do you handle external pressure to get married? Okay, external pressure, how do you handle it? First of all, I want to use this opportunity to say you can go back to some of our past sessions, especially where we spoke about maximizing singleness. Okay, you want to go back to those videos and watch them. Now, the person pressuring you is not going to be in that marriage with you. Okay, so how do you overcome those external pressure? First of all, ensure that you have managed your own pressure internally. Because if you have internal pressure and somebody else is adding external pressure to you, then it's really going to be complicated for you. That's where it's really going to become very problematic. But if you have managed your own internal pressure, all right, and you're managing it by what you're telling yourself, the reassuring words you're giving yourself, you're not in competition with anybody. Your life is ordered, your life is planned. Okay, in the fullness of time, you will get that right person. Okay, and you're focused on pursuing your dream, your purpose, whatever it is you're committed to. All right, so when you've settled this within yourself, it will be difficult for any external pressure to have any impact on you. Okay, because you have taken care of the pressure internally. Now, for whoever the people bringing the pressure from outside are, sometimes it's family members. Okay, if it's family members like parents and you don't want to look like you're rude to them, then you can politely tell them that don't worry, I'm praying about it, I'm working towards it, in the fullness of time it will happen, but please stop mounting this pressure on me. You might want to be able to tell them that. Okay, if there are people that are not necessarily, you're not obliged to submit to per se, or they're not authority figures in your life, then tell it to them as bluntly as you can. Hello, please, I don't appreciate these comments. All right, if you care so much for me, go and pray for me, but please, I don't appreciate these comments. Now, I'm saying that because you need to be able to guard your space. You need to be able to barricade your emotional space. Don't tolerate everything that everybody is throwing at you. Don't say, after all, it's not our brother in church. Tell him that, please, sir, I don't appreciate these comments. If you're so concerned, could you just pray for me and don't harass me anymore? All right, you can make it that clear to them. Yes, you can do that. Okay, I tell you, when you tell that to somebody the first time, most likely they're not going to try to disturb you again. Okay, but if there are people who are authority figures, then you can, as politely as possible, just let them know that yes, you're working on it and then you're praying and trusting God, but you would appreciate if they also join you in faith without necessarily following up with you every now and then. You know you want to get married, especially if you want to. All right, so you know it. They don't need to harass you any further. Okay, so I believe these are some of the ways you can handle that pressure from outside. Okay, first of all, guard your own space internally. Guard your own space. Barricade your heart. All right, barricade your heart from external influences, from negative suggestions. You owe that to yourself. Okay, when you have handled that within yourself, there is nothing anybody is saying from outside that will affect you. Okay, there is nothing. Nobody can put you down except you accept to be put down. And in the same vein, nobody can mount pressure on you unless you receive pressure. You see? So don't receive it, and don't create an environment that receives it. Okay? If there are certain people who have devoted their lives to taunting you on your relationship status, then avoid them. You see, there are things you can control and there are things you cannot control. You might not be able to determine what they say when they meet you, but you can determine to not meet them. So if they're passing here, you pass the other side. If they call you, I want to see you, you're not available, they should send you a text. Drop me a WhatsApp message and I will respond. You see, but when you know that that person is always going to speak negative things or things that are disempowering to you, and you keep submitting yourself to them, then you are not helping yourself. Perhaps you need to be delivered also from yourself. All right. So much for that. I'll take the next question. And this is quite interesting. Somebody says, is the will of God for marriage specific to one particular person? This is a question that we have answered time and time again, but we would always keep answering it. Listen, there is no one person that you are supposed to get married to in the world, such that if you miss that person, you have missed your life, you have missed your destiny, you cannot have a good marriage. No, there is nothing like that. There is no one single person. You know, I hear some people who get so emotionally entangled with others. They say stuff like, if I don't get married to him, I'm going to kill myself. If I don't get married to her, then I'm not going to marry any other woman. If I don't marry this one, then I can't love any other person again. I just can't do that. That's rubbish talk. That's very foolish talk. Okay, foolish talk. When you're talking like that, you're allowing your emotions lead you. Emotions can't lead you to progress. Emotions will lead you to havoc. Yes, because those feelings are not supposed to direct the course of your life. You are meant to instruct your emotions. Okay, so there is no one person in any part of the world. However, I tell people that there's a pool, there's a kind of people you can marry from, and you would have a good relationship and marriage. Okay, there are a kind of people, and it's for you to identify the people that fit that category. And if you go through some of our past videos, I talked about how you can do a holistic appraisal of the people in your life that you're considering. You're checking them out spiritually, mentally, and then physically. And we said that the spiritual and mental assessments or qualities are even more important than anything external. Anything external, be it beauty or wealth or influence. The internal qualities, the intangible qualities are by far more important. You don't want to get married to a very handsome and rich man who's a fraudster or a ritualist. You don't want to do that. The same vein as a young man, you don't want to get married to the hottest girl on the street who's a loose woman and she's everybody's side chick and wife. You don't want to do that. Okay? So, beyond anything external, you want to exalt the intangible qualities of spirit and soul connection. All right, and then if you find people with whom you are compatible at that level, spiritually, mentally, okay, there are chances that you can work it out with such a person. There are chances, all right? So there's no one single person reserved somewhere in the earth. You have to do ultimate search, locate that person, and hooray, I found my life partner. Nope, nothing like that. Nothing like that. God is not that mean, all right? Nothing like that. If one relationship that you thought was everything in the world to you, if it doesn't work, don't give up. Get into the next relationship when you are fully healed and you are ready. Okay, if one fails, please, there are several other options. Like a friend of mine used to say to me then, there are several fish in the river. Go fishing. Gonna catch another one. All right. And then if you're the lady, don't give up. Stay hopeful. Keep trusting God. And I tell people that God has choice sons, special sons, correct guys. He has them, a lot of them. Okay. Stay true to Him and stay trusting Him and building yourself and busy with your life. You will find your partner in shocking ways, in surprising ways. It just happens. Okay, so there's no one person somewhere waiting for you. However, there are a kind of people that you stand a chance to have a good relationship and marriage with. Okay, let me move on. This one says, I have a friend who stays in church at least 16 hours every day. He claims to be a business owner, but he hardly has airtime on his phone, nor subscription on his phone. He's always cashless to do whatever he wants to do and to go to places that he wants to go to. Yet he said he is interested in me and wants to marry me. How do I tell him that he's being lazy? That's a long one. Okay, so basically somebody says he has a business, but he spends all his time in church and he's always broke. He doesn't have money to do the basic things he wants to do, go places he wants to go to, and yet he's here telling you he wants to get married to you. Okay, well, he has told you what he's interested in. For you, you can as well tell him that you are not interested if you're not interested. You don't have to attack him. You don't have to tell him he's lazy. He will find that out by himself, I'm sure, with time. You just decline his interest. It's simple. But if you think he will listen to you, then you can feel free to let him know the areas you think he should self-improve. Now, this is very important because love is a very amazing factor. It's a big motivator to man. There are many men who sat up in their lives when there was a woman they needed to impress. They sat up. They started pursuing business. They started working hard just because they want to prove to her that they are they are able and capable to take care of her. Okay, so yes, you can suggest to him areas he needs to self-improve, how he needs to have more drive, okay, more vision, more purpose, and discipline in pursuing that dream. But he should not sit down there doing nothing with himself and speaking marriage to you. Nope. If if he's doing that, then in the same energy he's coming at you, you can tell him, I'm sorry, I'm not interested, go look for somebody else. Okay, but then if you think you are ready to help a brother out, then suggest areas he can improve. But don't do this with yourself in the picture as though, we are in this together, let's grow together. Don't start getting yourself so committed. All right, yes, help the person and still be detached. If it's going to become a relationship eventually, good and fine, but don't throw in your emotions just anyhow. All right, don't just do that. Don't do that. Okay, guard your heart with all diligence. Okay, so next question. I've been in a relationship for 4 years. My boyfriend has been the one taking care of most of my needs, but now I don't really feel anything for him. I feel obligated to stay with him. Could this be love or pity? Let me read it again. You've been dating someone for 4 years. He's been taking care of most of your needs, and now those feelings, those butterflies in your tummy have disappeared. You don't feel anything for him any longer except pity. And now you're wondering, there's an obligation to stay with him because he has been taking care of you. Well, what do we say to these things? You see, one of the first ways I'll help you, right, is to please go and watch all the sessions we did in February. We started from talking about what love is not, and then we explained what love is, and then we spoke about the love of the Father, and then we spoke about how you can love yourself. Okay, if you go through those messages, you will see what love is and what love isn't. One of the things you will see is that love is not a feeling. Instead, it is a willful, intentional, deliberate commitment to add value to somebody else's life for the rest of your life, even if you're not being rewarded for it. That is what true love is. That's love in its purest form. It's not feelings, it's work, it's commitment. Okay? Someone says there's another person in the picture. So if you are the one asking the question, be true to yourself. Are you sure you're not already considering somebody else? Okay, but let me just establish that love is not all those mushy things you feel. Those are the ones that come and go. True love is a commitment, such that even if that relationship needs to break, it's not breaking because feelings have disappeared. It's breaking because, based on purpose and decisions and well-informed data or reasons, you cannot continue with the relationship. Okay, so if it's this one you're saying that is just based on feelings, then, well, what you're feeling now for the guy is pity. It's not love, and you need to evaluate properly. So why is it that you have grown out of love, in quote, for him? Why? What happened? You see, what happened? You want to go back and look at it. Have you been selfish? Have you just been with him because he was a support system to you and you never had plans to do life with him? Don't forget that my principle for relationship, what I emphasize in relationships, is only get into a relationship with somebody you can get married to. Therefore, you are not getting into a relationship if you are not putting marriage in view. You don't use relationship to cure loneliness. You don't use relationship to get out of being broke. You don't use relationship to just meet your needs. Okay, if that's what you're doing, those are faulty foundations. You don't do relationship because every other person is doing relationship. You don't do relationship because I just don't want to be the one left out. All my mates have boyfriends and girlfriends. Those are not reasons to get in a relationship. You don't get in a relationship because you're getting too old. No, you don't get in a relationship because everybody is beginning to attack you. Some people get in relationships just to pepper their ex. Okay, just so that you can tell him back that me too, I'm in a relationship. Thank you, my dear. A relationship is not a career. You see? So you need to know all of those. So if you are not putting marriage in view, and like I tell people, within the shortest, visible future that you can see, not 10 years, not 12 years time. Within the next 2 to 5 years, if you cannot put marriage in clear context, then please don't get into that relationship just yet. You see, I tell people that putting marriage as the basis for a relationship, it will help you to know what you're looking out for. It makes it easier for you to be committed to what your principles and values are. Yeah. But when there is no marriage in view, that's why you say, let's just see how it goes. And it goes left, goes right, goes up, jumps down, goes everywhere, but not marriage. And then where does it leave you? Heartbreak. And then generalizations. Oh, all women are this, all men are this, all people from this tribe are like that, all people, you just come up with all those useless generalizations that you did not have to experience in the first place. Can you see it now? So if there is no marriage in the clear and visible future, don't deceive yourself with that thing you're calling relationship. Okay? End it and focus on your life. Let me tell you the truth. This feels like a deviation from the questions, but let me just emphasize it. It is the capacity you build in yourself as a human being. It's that capacity that will help you in marriage. That capacity to be a great person, to have a great character, to be forgiving, to be trustworthy, to be patient, to be gentle, to be kind, to have leadership, to not keep record of wrongs, okay, to always see hope in people, to always give people a chance, to be tolerant of people's behaviors. It is all that capacity you build in yourself that will play out when you are in a relationship. Nothing tests your character and the strength of who you are as much as a love relationship, because that's the highest form of your vulnerability. All right, there are things that people would do that somebody would do to you on a normal day that would not annoy you until you get in a relationship with that person. Now it becomes annoying. Okay, so it's the capacity you're building in yourself now that you will take into that relationship that will help you to have a good relationship and good marriage. So that is why you should focus on yourself right now. Focus on building capacity. Okay, focus on building capacity on yourself. Let me stop there for now and move on to the next question. Take note that love is not a feeling, just to wrap up that point for that person. And if you have evaluated your partner and he's a great guy, he's a good guy, but the only challenge is that you don't feel those things, then please advise yourself, speak to yourself, tell yourself, remind yourself of the qualities that are more important than how you feel per time. Okay, and then don't lose that relationship if it's a good one. But if it's a problematic one, then feel free to bounce. All right, I know how to recommend bouncing out of a relationship. Yeah, because many relationships in the first place were not meant to be. Okay, so this one, should I jump into it now? I'm going to treat a session later on submission, and when I'm talking about that matter of submission, I'm also going to talk about feminism and stuff like that. So there's a question of feminism now, so I will just jump it for that session. Okay, and it's going to be very beautiful. You'll love it. So let me just jump that for now, and let me use it to put you in suspense small. Okay, so next question. Okay, this person says, so what are the right reasons to get married for? Okay, and I'm sure that's because you have heard some of the other general things we have said, that you're not getting into the relationship because you're just getting old, or because every other person is in one, because you want to have somebody you call your own, and all those other reasons. So what are the right reasons to get married? The right reasons to get married are simply the reasons that marriage was created for. Okay, there are 3 or 4 basic things that marriage was created for. One is companionship. You need somebody you can be there to, somebody you can talk with, somebody you can share your dreams and aspirations with, somebody you can be friends with and enjoy each other's company. Okay, so companionship is one of the key reasons for marriage. Companionship. Okay, and then the Bible says 1 shall chase 1,000 and 2 shall chase 10,000. So there's also synergy. Synergy is a reason for marriage. It helps you to achieve your God-given potentials and dreams. Okay, when you marry the right partner, your force, your strength is increased by far. You can do more, you can achieve more, you can go farther. Okay, you can do more with the right partner. So that's another reason you want to consider getting married. Companionship, synergy, okay, and then there is also procreation. All right, to extend your family line on the earth. Okay, there is a need to give birth, okay, and raise your own offspring. Okay, that is one of the reasons for marriage. Marriage, as a matter of fact, is God's approved what's the word now? Condition for procreation. God's approved condition for procreation is marriage. In other words, don't start getting somebody pregnant if you're not married to her. Don't start sleeping with people up and down. Okay, you should get married to somebody and stay committed to that person. Thank you, Ella. So you can raise godly seeds. Okay, that's what I mean by procreation, to raise godly seeds, to bring children into the world, all right, and teach them in the way of God, and raise people who will further extend the dominion mandate that God spoke over mankind. He said, have dominion, all right, fill the earth, subdue it, replenish the earth, take charge over everything. That's the dominion mandate. By procreation, by bringing in godly seed, that is one of the ways you extend that mandate, upon the face of the earth. So those are reasons to get married. Finally, for pleasure. Oh yes, there is a kind of pleasure that you can get from your spouse alone. Okay, so when you're having sex, for example, it's not only because you want to have children. You can have sex for pleasure. You can use sex to calm down. You can use sex to just have fun with your partner. Anyhow you guys want to do it, that works for both of you. Okay, God put sexual urges in humans, but those urges were meant to be expressed in the context of marriage, in the confines of marriage. So when you are married, you can have fun with your spouse and not feel any iota of guilt at all. At all. You see? Yeah, you are free, you enjoy it. You go all out with your life partner, with your wife or your husband. Okay, so those are reasons to want to get married. I mentioned 4 things and I'll just run through them again: companionship, synergy, procreation, and pleasure. All right, pleasure. So those are right reasons to get married. Those are right reasons to want to get married. Okay, and the truth is, when you get the right person, you will see how all of these things together just help your life to have some wholeness and some sweetness. The companionship, the friendship, the synergy, you're achieving things together, pursuing dreams together, supporting each other, giving each other the push and the support, bringing lovely children, godly children into the world, having fun with yourselves, traveling the world, hanging out, having fun, enjoying yourself. You will see how empowering and beautiful this thing is. Okay, so I hope that helps that person. Those are right reasons to get married. All right, those are right reasons to get married. The next question says, what's my advice about online relationship? What's my advice about online relationship? There's nothing wrong with a relationship starting as an online one, so long as both of you are ready for marriage. Don't forget, my relationship advice is always geared towards marriage. That's my position. Okay, so if both of you are ready for marriage, there's not a challenge with starting the relationship online. There's not a challenge there. Okay, what I tell people is that you can meet your spouse anywhere, anytime, under any condition. Okay, where and how you meet may be immaterial. It could be in the bus stop. It could be at the supermarket. It could be at the swimming pool. It could be at a church service. It could be anywhere. You could meet your partner anywhere and anyhow. The platform's irrespective. It could be the weirdest of ways. It could be at an embarrassing situation, or at some point where you needed help, or where you're changing your tire, or where you're fixing your shoe by the cobbler. It could just be anywhere and anyhow. Okay? How you meet and where you meet is not as important as what you do when you have met each other. So if you met online, then It's also a platform. But what matters is what conversations are you having with yourselves? All right? Are you able to connect spiritually, mentally, and across all areas of your values and the things that really matter to you? Are you able to connect at that level? Those are the things you want to be asking yourself. Now, the thing about online relationship, what we tell people is, while you enjoy the friendship and everything about that relationship, you don't make any commitments until you guys can see physically. That is advised. Until you guys can see physically, until you guys can confirm certain things about yourselves, about the genuineness of the person you're talking to at the other end. Because I hope you know that one of the expressions of advanced fee fraud is people who, falsify their identities and start chatting with other people and falling in love with other people or getting other people to fall in love with them. Only at the end of the day they get scammed. All right. There are certain movies that have also spoken about the possible risks of online dating. All right. So while it is a possibility, you also want to be smart. You also want to protect yourself. All right. Don't start falling in love anyhow. Enjoy the friendship. Enjoy it for what it's worth. Oh, you guys talk together. You guys pray together. Oh, you guys connect on so many fronts. You guys read the Bible together. You read books together. Oh, you do all of those nice things. There are certain commitments we advise don't make yet. Plan to meet. Let him travel and come and meet you. All right? And you self, don't be quick to be the one to travel and go and meet him. Okay, find a way to verify everything you can verify about this person. Who are other people who know him or her? Who are their friends and families around? Who are people you can speak with that can vouch for who they are? Do you understand? You want to be able to verify those kind of things first before you jump into a marital commitment. If not, you start saying that you were played, or somebody deceived you. Meanwhile, you should have also done your due diligence and you were not under any compulsion or obligation to commit to marriage with that person. So yes, online relationships can work, but be guided. Okay? And also have the discipline to stay true to your person even though the person is not around, because that's another challenge many young people face. You say, yes, I have a girlfriend, she's in London. She will come back next 2 years. So before she come back, you destroy all the young girls in your area. Everything on sketch you pursue, kill and destroy. Just chop and go. But yet you have one original girlfriend though. Then you'll be leading other people on here, giving them ideas. They'll be there thinking there's something important in your life. They don't know you're just using them to pass time. That's very wrong if you're doing that. Okay? If you have somebody you've made a commitment to, stay true to that person. Stay true to that person. Don't start running shows on the side because your partner is not around. Okay? That's why I tell people that it's not everyone that can do distance relationship. Not everybody can chest it. Some people are not true to themselves. They go miss waka. They will go and be doing other things. When somebody is there thinking they have boyfriend or girlfriend, they'll be there doing other things with other random people. Okay? And they'll say, after all, how did you expect me to hold body and things like that? So that's wrong. I'm not endorsing that in any way. Okay, if you have a commitment to somebody, stay true to them, whether or not they are around. All right, so that's what it is. So ask yourself, are you the kind of person who can really do a distance relationship? Not everybody can do that. If you think you can do that, then fine. Start the conversations. As a matter of fact, start the conversations. Start discussing. Okay, but find a way to verify all the important boxes. Tick all the important boxes. Verify this person's identity. Verify who they really are. Verify that they are not even married where they are. That's another thing. Somebody will be here telling you very nice things, promising you love and marriage. You marry. By the time you get there, the guy don't marry before. He get children. Yes, it's happening. A lot of people have been victims to things like that. The person is already married, or the lady is married and just trying to get out of a relationship that is not working. You see, these are the realities. These things happen. That's why you don't jump into any commitments just yet. No, you don't do that. Verify all those things first before you start making commitment to anybody. If not, when you are crying, I'll be telling you sorry, yeah. Then again, you will not give yourself reason to say, all men are scum, or all women are what I don't know. Women cannot be trusted. Fear woman. I'm sure you hear people say all of those things. Fear woman. Fear not. That's what God said. Fear not. Oh yeah, catfishing is real. It happens a lot, especially online. Okay, so those are the things you want to be aware of. See, this is why I keep telling people, learn how to keep your emotions in check. Guard your emotions. Because nobody will mess with your heart if you don't submit your heart to be messed with. If you guard your emotions well, all right, you won't just easily be enticed and deceived by anybody out there. Okay, so much for that. Let me move on to the next question. In a relationship where from the outset the guy has been so lovely and kind, even unto marriage, but all of a sudden the man becomes abusive. What should I do? Wow. This may take more than a general answer here, because there's a lot of probing that would need to go into this case. There's a lot of probing, there's a lot of questions that I would need to ask. All right. But then, are you sure it's all of a sudden the person became abusive, or it's now your eye clear? Think I'm well. Are you sure it's not now that your eye is clear? Because before you were just looking at the glam and all the things you could benefit and all the beautiful things that you could enjoy, and you thought it was love. But now that you get into marriage, eye clear. Okay, now you see, people say that love is blind, but then marriage is what opens the eyes. So is there a chance that you were blind all the while in love in quotes, until you got married and your eyes opened? Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, it also depends on what level or what kind of abuse you're talking about. Okay, that's why I said I can't just give answers to this now. All right, there's a lot we need to discuss. So basically, right, there are certain things that can make men look like they change. Okay, let me just speak to that on a general note, and then if you're that person who asks that question, please feel free. Let's discuss this again off camera, and so we can talk a lot more. I can ask you more questions. Okay, I need to understand what kind of abuse you're talking about. Okay, because abuse is the buzzword right now. It's the buzzword now. If somebody is doing what you don't like, you just say, I'm being abused in my relationship. It's treating you in a way that, sometimes because something you caused for yourself, and he responds in a way you don't like. You say, abuse. Or the man too will cry, abuse. I'm in an abusive relationship. So what exactly is this abuse? We need to really look at it, okay, and know what exactly it is. Thank you, Mary. Yes, there is always a sign. You see, there is always a sign. So if you were not deceived by your emotions, you would have seen those signs before your eye cleared in marriage. Okay, but like I said, there are certain things that can make a man look like he's no more in love per se. So you see, men are, like we like to say, men are like hunters. Okay, when there is a game, when there's something they're going after, it becomes their project. It becomes all that they are enthused with. They go after it. They do everything they have to do to get it. Tell her nice things, visit her every day after work, go and drop her at home before going home, even if it's a 2 hours drive, no problem. He will do everything. Oh, you know that song, I will do anything for you. Woo! Most times it's in the win stage, when they're still trying to catch you. I will cross the oceans for you. Those are the kind of things you hear. Those are the kind of things you see at that stage, because he's going after a target. When he has gotten that target, when he has achieved that goal, many times, because of the way the man's mind is project oriented or work oriented, he goes after the next project in his life, which might be his business or work. In his mind, I have acquired wife now, done and dusted. Next, we move. You see, so you say, oh, he used to do all those nice things for me when we're dating. He used to take me out. Oh, he used to buy ice cream every week. Oh, he used to take me to fancy restaurants. He used to do all of those things. Yes, because on that project called Project Marry, he needed to do this, that to convince the potential clients, all right, that he could be a good husband. Now they have been convinced and they have given him their trust and they have gotten married. That project has been closed and packed in one corner onto the next project, which might be his building project, or how to increase his company's market share, or how to do this and that. He's focused on something else. So those are some of the things that happen sometimes, and people say, oh, he was all nice before, now he has changed. That might be what is going on in his brain. But then this is why we tell people, you should know how to bring spice to your own relationship. And that's why I also tell young ladies, please don't be an item on any man's list. Okay? And you would know from the relationship stage. You guys don't have anything in common. He does everything for you. You know, he builds your life around himself. You are an item in his collection. Yes. Because at the end of the day, we marry you and keep and move on. Do you understand? So, bring value to the table. Bring value to the table. Exchange value. Do you understand? Don't just be waiting for him to come and make your dreams come true. Like I like to say, oh, my dreams in life, my greatest dream in life is to get married to the man of my dreams. And then once you get married to him, you are finished. Nothing else to do with yourself. That's wrong. All right? So bring value to the table. Why am I saying this? When you bring value to the table, he sees you differently. You are not just an item. You're not just a liability, something that he spends money on. All right? But he sees you as someone who is key to his growth and to the next level of his life. So he always wants you around him. He takes care of that kind of relationship. You guys can gist on anything. You can gist on politics, you can gist on football, you can gist on whatever is going on your careers, on your job matter. You can gist about anything because you're bringing value to the table. You see, it's going to be hard for a man who has a wife who is his real guy. You know what we call real guy? When your wife is your real guy, see, it's going to be difficult for him to not treat her well. And to be your man's real guy, you need to bring value to the table. You need to bring joy and peace to the table. Not nagging, condemnation, whining, talking him down, and all of those things. Those are things that will make a man change. But when you bring hope, you bring joy, you bring strength, you bring value, you're even bringing money, you're also working and bringing money to the table. You know, you're bringing spiritual support, you're bringing hope, and all of these things. He cannot do without you. You would always be in his space. You are the one he wants to break the latest gist with. You're the one he wants to talk to. You're the one he wants to spend time with. Why? Because you are bringing value. You are not an item of his collections. You are not one of the possessions in his house. You are bringing value. You see, when you are that kind of person, then he definitely will enjoy being with you and doing life with you. When you're his real guy, you guys can gist about stuff. You guys are real. You keep it real with each other. You know, the truth is, men like those kind of companionships. That is why guys, you know, can hang out with themselves even if they don't know anybody from Adam. Why? Because they are non-judgmental. They just go and hear themselves. Hey, chairman, how far? Hey, correct guy. Hey, what's the happen? Hey, confirm. Hey, what's up? You know, it's because nobody is judging anybody, so they are fine. Nobody is telling the other one that you did not pass your exam, or you did not get promotion in the office, or nobody's judging anybody. So that's why guys are free with themselves. That's why they can gist about every other thing in the world, and they are not talking about anything personal. No way. They will gist about soccer, they will gist about politics, they will gist about entertainment, gist about every other thing, but nobody is bringing anything personal to the table. You see, that is why the guys are free among themselves. So, if you are that wife who the slightest opportunity you have for conversation, I've been telling you, what about those things I've been reminding you? See, I started again. No. he will not spend time with you. He will avoid you like a plague. He's going to be very busy at work. He's going to be closing very late. In fact, there's always going to be traffic, very bad traffic. In fact, some days the traffic is so bad that I can't get home till 4 a.m. It's traffic. Blame it on the traffic. Why? He's avoiding you. He doesn't want judgment. He doesn't want nagging. Some wives try to be their husband's mother. You're trying to run his life like he's a child. Oh yeah, wake up. Oh yeah, go and bath. Why did you do this? See where you dropped your shirt. How many times did I tell you? Oh yeah, no. Don't stress his life. Don't stress his life. When you're that kind of person, he will avoid you. Those are the kind of things that will make you say, oh, he has changed. He used to be very nice. He used to be very nice until you moved into the house. That's what happened. Until you people started living together, then he discovered that, this one na work. Oh. Which kind of wahala be this? You see? The Bible says a nagging woman is like a constant dripping. Just imagine, it's raining and there's somewhere where the tap just keeps, it disturbs you. You can't sleep. You can't, it's a constant dripping. That's what a nagging woman does to her husband. So he will avoid you. Okay. So, somehow, I've taken so much time on that question. Can I still take one more question? Let me try and look for a short one. One that won't be long. Okay. Let me speak to this last one. This last question I'll take for today is let me read the way the person wrote it. Why does it feel like relationship must be sex-based? Can't one date without sex? Okay, that's the question. Can't one date without sex? Why does it look like relationships must be sex-based? Very good question. Very, very good question. Okay, you hear things like, oh, we just dated for a few weeks. Oh, can you imagine? He's my friend. He's my close friend at work. I didn't even know he was dating my best friend. When you now say, what do you mean by dating? They were sleeping together. They were having sex. Okay, now the world out there, the contemporary world out there, has almost equated relationship to be sexual engagement between the people in the relationship. That's what the world makes it look like. That's what you see in the movies. That's what you see in the novels. Once you have feelings for somebody, get close to them, and then you guys start kissing and touching yourselves and having sex. That's what the world makes you think relationship and love is. But like I said, that is the world's standard. That's not God's standard. Pure relationships should not be sex-based. And I tell people, in fact, take note of this point I'm going to make now. Once sex starts getting involved, it starts becoming complicated. Yes, that's where complications start coming in gradually. Some people will catch up with this statement I made now later. You will find out. When sex starts getting involved, that relationship starts becoming complicated. Relationships don't have to be sex-based. As a matter of fact, what I tell people dating is that stage where you are interacting with different people to know which one could pass for a life partner. And that interaction is not sex-based at all. No knacking, no kissing, no touching, no smooshing and all of that. No. Void of all of that. Those things mess up your judgment. Those things mess up your judgment, basically. Okay? So to answer that person, yes, relationships or dating can happen without sex. Yes, it can. That is what we teach. That is what we encourage. Okay, and this is why you see again and again I bring it back to how much you're developing yourself and empowering those principles that are core to you. Okay, why am I saying that? Because the temptations are always there. We're human beings, we're flesh and blood. There would always be opportunities and reasons to give in. But take note, if you choose to honor God in your decision to not give in, you would reap the reward with time. Because of time, I can't explain further into this point. You will reap the reward when you honor God by choosing to keep your friendships and relationship pure, you will reap the reward. Sometimes the reward is in the quality of friends you would have, people who can vouch for you. Yes, sometimes that's how the reward starts. Okay, let me see. There are a few comments. Let me just take them before I close. Relationships should not be sex-based. Yes. Some people at the back need to hear it. So let me loud it. I should say it louder. Yes, it should not be sex-based. No, it starts becoming complicated when you start sleeping with the person that you're in a relationship with. It starts becoming complicated. Okay. Someone says it depends on how you lay your foundation and standards also. Okay. In what respect do you mean this? Because your foundation and your standards should be such that you are not indulging. Okay, learn to discipline yourself. Learn to tell yourself that all I have is feelings for this guy. It will come and it will go. It does not have to become something else. All I have is feelings and attraction towards this girl. In some cases, it's lust you're feeling towards her. All you're thinking of is her body. Oh, the curves, the shapes, what she's going to look like, how she's going to feel. Oh, you're already imagining it and playing out the scenes in your head. You are setting yourself up. Don't indulge that feeling. That's what I'm saying. Discipline yourself. Tell yourself, no, I shouldn't do this. No, she's not my wife. I'm not going to do this. All right. Block those thoughts. Yes, you can do it. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. People tell themselves they can pursue their highest careers. They can achieve anything they want in life. Yet they refuse to know that they can control their emotions. Yes, you can. Block those thoughts. And I know what I'm saying. Block them because they're not going to help you. Every moment you brood on those things, you're weakening your defenses. You're weakening your ability to say no. You're weakening your ability to resist. And see where the problem is. From when you start giving in, it becomes easier every other day to give in again and again. You see, that is why once you get down with somebody just once, it's going to be hard to stop. The next time you guys have the opportunity, you will go further. You will do it again. You will do it again and again. And like some church people used to do, you now say, oh no, we're not supposed to do this, so let's pray for forgiveness. You pray for forgiveness. When you finish, you do it again. Because you are weakening your defenses. What you're dealing with is flesh and blood. Let me close with this. Sex is the only thing in the Bible that God said flee from. He said flee. Because he's not a respecter of anything, not your anointing, not your title in church, not how you brag and think you are a strong man, you cannot fall for them. He's not a respecter of anything. When it was concerning the devil, scripture says resist the devil and he will flee from you. When it concerned fornication, the Bible said flee youthful lusts. If you see him there, no go meet him, no go fight him, run for your life. That's what the Bible says. Okay. That's why I said, honor the principles of scripture. Honor what the Bible has said. All right? Live a life of honor unto God. It will come back to you as rewards in many areas of your life. Many areas of your life. More than I can explain in this session. All right? I will have to stop here because of time. And I hope this has been a great time. You can just show some love, splash some love, and some hearts in the atmosphere there. I hope it's been a good use of your time. I look forward to seeing you again in the next episode next week. Don't worry, like I said, we're expanding the options. Very soon, we'll be able to stream on all possible platforms. Zoom, YouTube, Facebook, everything we can stream on. We are going to be doing that as we continue. All right, thank you. If you have questions, please feel free to send them into the DM and we'll get in touch with you. Okay, we're also available for counseling and coaching on matters of love and relationship. Thank you so much. God bless you. See you next week. Peace out. Bye.